Hey everyone, and welcome back to our channel for the absolute latest soap scoops. Today is a fantastic day to dive deep into the drama of Salem. Days of Our Lives is saying goodbye to one massive star this week. But do not panic, because 4 dual stars are debuting and returning this week to make up for it. Yes, you heard that right. We have a huge week coming up for August 24th through August 28th. It is going to be wild and messy, just the way we like it. So let us just jump right into the deep end of the pool with these massive comings and goings. First up on the exit front, Peter Porte has officially wrapped up his stint as Dimitri Von Leuschner. He made his last appearance on August 19. And honestly, it is a huge loss for the show. Dimitri was such a chaotic villain, but his exit makes sense given everything that has been happening in Alamainia. We all know Dimitri was holding Gwen and Leo hostage over there. It was a massive international crisis. Ray Fernandez even had to fly overseas to try and negotiate their release. And Leo made that shocking offer to his villainous ex. So whatever happened behind closed doors in Alamainia, it led to Dimitri leaving the canvas. And it just makes you wonder about the fallout. Dimitri is Megan Hathaway's son. He has that dark DiMera blood running through his veins. He faked a marriage with Gwen just to get his massive inheritance. Then he cheated on her with her best friend Leo, and now he is gone, leaving Gwen and Leo to pick up the pieces of their shattered lives. But Peter Porte did an amazing job with the role. He brought so much snark and villain energy. So we are definitely going to miss him on our screens. But the soap moves on, and we have some major returns to talk about. Because Richard Wharton is back as Dr. Wilhelm Rolf, the ultimate mad scientist of Salem, is returning on Monday, August 24. And he is walking right into a massive nightmare. Dan Feuerriegel's EJ confronts the trusted DiMera employee the second he gets the chance. And, EJ is furious. He is completely losing his mind right now because the Versavix resurrection serum is failing. We all saw the terrifying news about the lab rat dying, and now Lexie Carver is dying all over again. EJ played God. He brought his sister back from the dead. He hid her in the DiMera mansion. He lied to Abe and Theo, and now it is all blowing up in his face. Lexie collapsed in that shipping container when Kristen pulled her massive escape stunt, and now she is fading fast. EJ is desperate to save her. So, of course, he is going to corner Dr. Rolf. He needs answers. He needs a cure. But Rolf might not have one, which is just so tragic. And Richard Wharton is so good at playing this frantic, diabolical doctor. Fun fact about him: he actually knew nothing about Rolf's legacy or his predecessor when he inherited the role from Will Utai. But he stepped into those crazy shoes and made the character his own. So seeing him face off with a desperate, monstrous EJ is going to be absolute gold. EJ is wearing Stefano's ring now. He is acting just like his father, and Rolf is going to have to answer to the new Lord of the Manor. But that is not the only massive return happening this week, because Matthew Ashford is returning for another run as Jack Deveraux. Yes, Jack is back. The character arrives in Salem on Tuesday, August 25, and he is walking straight into some heavy family drama. Jack shares scenes with Emily O'Brien when Gwen reaches out to her father. And honestly, Gwen really needs her dad right now. Think about what Gwen has just been through. She was kidnapped by her ex-husband, held hostage in Alamainia, betrayed by her best friend Leo. She is a complete emotional wreck, and She is terrified of EJ after trying to buy the hospital out from under him. So Gwen reaching out to Jack is a huge step for her. She usually pushes people away, but she needs a lifeline. And Jack is trying so hard to be a good father to her, even though his wife Jennifer absolutely hates Gwen for what she did to Abigail. And speaking of Abigail, Jack's return always brings up the pain of her death. We just had the 4th anniversary of Abigail's murder back in June. Jack and Jennifer and JJ visited her empty grave. And there are still so many questions about where her remains are. Could EJ have her in a resurrection pod? Maybe Jack is back in town to dig into that mystery. Because Jack is a journalist at heart, he cannot let a mystery go. And Jack will also be sharing scenes with his on-screen big brother, Stephen Nichols, Steve. Those scenes are airing on Friday, August 28th. And I just love whenever Jack and Patch are on screen together. The brotherly bond is so strong. Steve is dealing with his own massive family crisis right now. Stephanie is suffering from severe PTSD. She fired a gun at Joy Wesley inside Alex's apartment. It is a total disaster. So Steve and Jack leaning on each other is exactly what we need. Two brothers just trying to keep their families from completely falling apart. But Jack won't be resurfacing alone. He is bringing some very important cargo with him. Jack's grandchildren are coming back to Salem, and both of them have been recast. This is huge news for the DiMera family tree. Cole Gersmeyer takes over the role of Thomas DiMera, while Pippa Blaylock begins playing Charlotte DiMera. They both debut on Tuesday, August 25. Thomas and Charlotte were last portrayed by Alexander Elijah Bond and Autumn Gendron. They just appeared back in June for a baseball game with Chad and Belle. But you know how soaps work. Soap opera rapid aging syndrome is very real. Kids grow up fast in Salem. So we have two new child actors stepping into these legacy roles. And it is going to be so interesting to see how they fit into the current canvas, because their dad, Chad, is dealing with a lot right now. Chad has been growing closer to Belle Black. They had to put their trip to Italy on hold because of the Stefano chess set mystery. But Chad is also dealing with the lingering trauma of Cat Green. Remember when Cat pretended to be Abigail? It completely messed Thomas up. He hated Cat for lying about being his dead mother. And now Chad and Cat are forced to be around each other because of EJ. So bringing Thomas and Charlotte back right now is a recipe for drama. How will Thomas react if he sees Cat again? Will he lash out? And how will the kids react to Belle being in their dad's life? Jack bringing them back to Salem means Chad has to face his reality as a single father again. And he has to protect his kids from the toxic DiMera environment, especially with EJ acting like a complete monster lately. EJ is burying tainted drugs and kidnapping people. It is not a safe place for children. So Jack might have some strong words for Chad about how he is raising Abigail's kids. And finally, we have a massive casting tease to talk about. Sidney Malakai has been cast in an undisclosed role. The show announced the move via the official Days Instagram account. And viewers will have to wait until September 9 to find out exactly who she'll be playing. But come on, we all know who this is probably going to be. The writing is completely on the wall. Her name is Sidney. And we have been hearing rumors for months that Sidney DiMera is returning to Salem. The summer preview basically confirmed it. Kristen DiMera has been plotting to reach out to EJ's beloved daughter. Kristen wants to completely ruin EJ's relationship with Sidney as payback for EJ trying to kill her. And EJ is already spiraling out of control. So bringing Sidney back is the perfect way to push him over the edge. Sidney DiMera has so much history. She is the daughter of EJ and Sammy Brady. She was switched at birth by Nicole Walker. She has been kept off screen for years to protect her from the toxic DiMera drama. But now she is all grown up, and if Sidney Malachi is playing her, she is going to bring so much fire to the role. Imagine Sidney DiMera coming back and seeing her father acting like the new Stefano. She would be horrified. And Kristen would use that against EJ in a heartbeat. So this week is just packed with massive developments. We are losing Peter Porte as Dimitri, but we are gaining Richard Wharton back as Dr. Rolf. We are getting Matthew Ashford back as Jack. We have 2 brand new recasts for Thomas and Charlotte with Cole Gersmeyer and Pippa Blaylock. And we have the looming arrival of Sidney Malachi in September. The casting department at Days of Our Lives is working overtime right now. And it is paying off with some incredibly juicy storylines because everything is connected in Salem. Dimitri leaving impacts Gwen. Gwen reaching out brings Jack back. Jack bringing the kids back impacts Chad. Chad's drama impacts EJ. And EJ confronting Rolf over Lexie impacts the entire town. It is a massive domino effect, and we are here for every single second of it. The writers are really leaning into the family dynamics right now. The DiMeras and the Deveraux and the Kyriakis clans are all at war. And I just cannot wait to see how Jack handles Gwen. Gwen has done some terrible things. She lied. She schemed. She hurt Abigail, but she is still Jack's daughter. And Jack knows what it is like to be the black sheep of the family. He knows what it is like to make terrible mistakes and beg for forgiveness. So if anyone can get through to Gwen right now, it is Jack. But it is not going to be easy. Gwen is traumatized from the hostage situation. She is broke because the DiMera inheritance fell through. And she is leaning on Xander, which is a terrible idea since Xander is involved with Kristen. It is just a tangled web of lies and secrets, and Jack is going to have to navigate all of it while also dealing with his brother Steve's problems. Steve is trying to keep Stephanie out of jail for shooting at Joy, so the Johnson brothers are going to need a stiff drink at the Brady pub. That is for sure. And what about Dr. Rolf? Is he going to be able to save Lexie? Or is EJ going to have to watch his sister die all over again? The tragedy of the Versavix serum is so heartbreaking. Abe and Theo are already grieving, and EJ is completely refusing to accept reality. He is going to push Rolf to the absolute limit. He might even force Rolf to try untested, dangerous experiments on Lexie, because EJ cannot handle failure. He cannot handle losing, and he certainly cannot handle the guilt of knowing he caused Lexie's second death. So buckle up, because the week of August 24 to August 28 is going to be a bumpy ride. The comings and goings are shaking up the canvas in a major way, and the fallout is going to last for months. We will be watching every single episode and breaking it all down for you right here, so make sure you stay tuned, because Salem is heating up, and you do not want to miss a single moment of the drama.